I know I'm a few days late in talking about this, but hopefully by now you've heard that AT&T is considering selling off the Warner Bros. Gaming division to another potential gaming company, and by doing so that would of course include selling off TT Games. Now, in the long run, is this good or bad news? And the answer is nobody knows, but I'm sure the announcement has a lot of the developers sweating. What's going on, everyone? SW Gaming here, and in today's video I wanted to discuss the possible outcomes of what could happen when WB Games is sold off and what it may mean in terms for the Skywalker Saga's release, as well as all future LEGO games. Of course, like I mentioned just a second ago, by selling WB Games to another company such as EA or Activision Blizzard, who have both expressed interest, that means TT Games and the LEGO gaming franchise and license would then transfer over to the new parent company of WB Games. The gaming division will be sold off in an attempt to pay off AT&T's approximately whopping debt of $200 billion. The sale is estimated to gain the company $4 billion, but as someone on the outside, to me, it seems like it'd be much better to keep WB Games as part of AT&T's portfolio and then pay that debt off in time with the revenue the division generates, rather than just selling it off, as they did recently acquire it back in 2018 with the entire Warner Brothers merger. Now, there's definitely a few outcomes in this situation, some obviously more drastic than others. So best case scenario would be that when the division is sold, not much changes in terms of production, but there's very likely going to be numerous jobs that will be lost. Worst case scenario is that there's going to be a lot less games that will get developed over time in favor of a few select bigger titles, and that thousands of people lose their jobs if some of the smaller divisions get shut down. Of course, it's still way too early to tell what the sale of WB Games and its potential merger with another company might have, but it will more than likely affect the employees way more than it does us as consumers. Out of the named options so far, it seems like EA might be the best choice, as they are a fairly expansive company and they also own the Star Wars license currently. There's also another side to that coin, as EA has practiced shady business methods in the past, such as the whole Battlefront 2 microtransaction problem when the game was released, and the fact that many people are upset, including myself, with how EA has treated the Star Wars license at some points or in general, especially with the announcement that Battlefront 2 updates will be stopped once the game finally started to get better and felt like what I would consider to be a more complete game. Diving a little deeper and taking a look at how this might impact TT Games as a whole, I'm hoping that the team remains intact and that the company remains by their same name, since they do focus solely on LEGO games to the best of my knowledge. No other company does what they do, so it would be a shame to see them downsized or completely thrown away, which I think is highly unlikely, although this announcement has probably shaken the team and developers. In terms of where this puts future LEGO games, I think that they'll remain for the time being and that they will still get released for years to come. It's very possible that games will stick to a bi-yearly release schedule, meaning a new game comes out every 2 years, but with a lot going on now in the world, we just don't know. Speaking of not knowing anything, let's talk about how this might impact the Skywalker Saga. First and foremost, the silence on this game has been highly unusual and very untypical, since this game is so massive and a large game for both the community and TT Games as a company, but I don't need to tell any of you that. Without a doubt, this game will still get released, and I'm more than certain that as of now, the game is either complete or very, very close to completion. The sale of WB Games should not impact the Skywalker Saga's release or release date of this year, but what it could potentially impact is future DLC and expandable content. Although it hasn't been confirmed yet, I'd be very surprised to find that this game won't receive any updates after launch, whether it be through patches or expandable content, but if this potential merger may affect anything, it would be content released after the game's initial launch. We could see a delay in that DLC content, or else it just won't get released, but I'm hoping that everything works out in the end for both parties. If you're interested in learning about what potential DLCs we could get, be sure to check out my Level Speculation series basically every week. Regardless, I'm curious to see what everyone thinks about this news, and what are your thoughts about the merger or potential sale of WB Games in relation to the Skywalker Saga's current and future status. With that said, please consider subscribing to the channel to stay up to date on the game, but also this topic. Thanks for watching everyone, hope to see you in the next update, and have a great day.